Hey everyone, Kyle Lewis here from the Worship Keyboard Tutorial YouTube channel, giving you tips and tricks to help you with your worship keyboard ministry. In this video, we're going to look at the song Jireh, and I'm going to give you 3 tips to help you with the accompaniment because there are some tricky passages in this. So we're going to look at setting up a groove, we're going to look at some tricky rhythm passages that are in the song, and also I'm going to show you some pianistic tricks that you can play to sound like a real pro. But before we get started, if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and that little notification bell so that you can be aware of future videos. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. All right, if you're ready, let's get started. So there is a free PDF that you can get by clicking the link below. It has a lot of the rhythmic and melodic things that I'm going to be playing in this lesson. But to start off, we're going to talk about a groove. This song really is more of a groove as opposed to typical accompaniment. So what do we mean by that? Well, if you take a basic song like 10,000 Reasons, bless the Lord, oh my soul, the accompaniment follows the vocal line. Even a song like Lord, I Need You. Lord, I need you, oh, I need you. Notice how the chords follow where the vocal pattern is going. A groove is different in that a groove is this rhythmic pattern that repeats. It's kind of this foundational bedrock of rhythm and harmonies over which the vocals can sing pretty much anything. There's a song that we did earlier called Yes, I Will, and it had basically the same groove that we're going to look at today. It's this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so on. Count on one thing, the same God who never fails will not fail me now. You won't fail me now. So you have this groove, you have this rhythmic pattern that repeats regardless of what the vocals are singing. So we're going to see that same rhythmic pattern in the song Jireh. So we're going to get into the key where we are. So it has that same 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It doesn't work to just pulse out chords like we normally would on a regular worship song. You lose the whole feel of the song. The song has a groove and it's that rhythmic 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 3 and 4. We're going to practice that together in just a little bit. But the vocals can be kind of tricky because they're very syncopated and they're kind of free form. And so if you try to follow what the vocals are doing, you're going to get messed up. There's going to be a huge train wreck. So your job as the accompanist is to lay down this bedrock of groove, this bedrock of rhythmic foundation, harmonic and rhythmic foundation. So we're going to practice that together. Hopefully you're by a piano or a keyboard. So let's take the first little part. We're going to take just the left hand. So the left hand notes are C, B flat, A flat, E flat. We're going to take just that much, okay? So we're going to take C, B flat, A flat, E flat, okay? Now let's do it in the rhythm that we're going to be doing it. So we're going to play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it's bum choo choo bum choo ba da bum choo choo bum choo ba da bum choo choo bum choo ba da bum choo choo bum choo ba. Okay, so now let's add the right hand. So the right hand chords for our C minor chord, we're going to play B flat, E flat, and G. So that makes up our C minor. So you notice that looks like an E flat chord. It basically is an E flat chord with C in the bass. We're going to keep B flat here the same, but we're going to move the upper notes down to D and F. And then this whole thing moves down to A flat, and now E flat stays the same, and we move these 2 notes down here to make the E flat chord. So let's just walk through slowly the chords. We have C minor. Let's go to the B flat. Everything moves down to A flat, and then top note stays the same, bottom notes move here, we go to E flat, okay? So let's go slowly with both hands together. So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that's the basic rhythm that you're going to find throughout the entire song. So now we get to the tricky section of this third chord that they throw in on occasion, and that's the F minor chord. So let's look at this F minor chord first of all. The F minor chord basically is the same structure in the right hand as our A flat chord. A flat, C, E flat. That's the same chord that we used when we had A flat in the bass, but now we have F in the bass. So that's our F minor chord. But now they've thrown this chord in a syncopated way that sounds kind of off when they're singing it, but really it's keeping in time. So let's look at where this chord falls and how we can play it to kind of give the vocals some security. And again, we're not going to follow the vocals. If you try to follow the vocals and what they're singing, you're going to have a train wreck. Your job is to lay down that steady foundation of rhythm on top of which they're going to sing. So the rhythm is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So let me do that again. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So it falls on the fourth beat and then it goes to the E flat. So the vocals are singing, I've never been more loved than I am right now. So that sounds really syncopated. They're not changing the time at all. They're just playing it in a syncopated manner. So it sounds really tricky. But let's see if we can work on that rhythm. So we're going to play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it again. Let's do a little slower. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. We're not adding or taking away any beats. It's just that we're playing it in a syncopated manner. Okay? Let's try it again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. One more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to play it together, but I'm going to sing the vocal line so you can hear how the vocal is syncopated over this foundation. Okay? So try to keep that timing of where the chords fall. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Okay? So I'm going to sing the vocal part. You're going to play along the chords with me. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. I've never been more loved than I am right now. Let's do that again. I've never been more loved than I am right now. Let's do it again. I've never been more loved than I am right now. One more time. I've never been more loved than I am right now. So it's important to note that at the beginning of the song, the vocals have a half beat of rest. So it's rest. I've never been more loved than I am right now. But when we get to that tricky section that we were just working on, they start right on the downbeat. I've never been more loved than I am right now. Now that can add to the syncopated confusion for us as the accompanist. So again, we have to just stay the course and we have to lay down that rhythmic foundation and let the vocals just do what they do. So now we get to the piano trick. And sometimes we're playing accompaniment, we're just playing chords, and that's great. But there's some pianistic things that we can do that are going to sound a little bit more soulful, make you sound a little more professional. Let me play it for you one time through, and then I'll break down what I'm playing. That sounds a little more soulful. It sounds more like a professional as opposed to just hammering out the chords. So what are we doing? We're using a combination of grace notes and constant tones. I've talked a ton about constant tones. You can look at some of the previous videos. I talk a lot about those, but now we're adding this grace note. So we're adding the grace note on the B flat chord. So I have my C minor chord, but I'm going to my B flat chord, and I'm playing this grace note from the second to the third, or from the C to the D. Now that's going to be played along the same time as this F. Let's practice that a couple of times. So it comes down together, so it's kind of like on the downbeat, then it goes quickly to that D. So let's go from the C. We're going to go 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. So that full thing with the C minor and the B flat is. And I've got this written out so you can actually see the music and the notation for this. So I'm using my right hand to kind of fill in some of that rhythmic. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Now we do that same grace note on the A flat chord. We go from the second to the third. This time it's the B flat to the C. But now we're going to do a walk down from that C to that E. So let's practice just that grace note on the A flat. And it might take a while to really feel comfortable with that so it sounds smooth and not, agitated or, too forceful. We want it to sound just nice and graceful. And it goes from this da da da. Now this G is the third of the E flat chord. Now let's see if we can put that all in context. Let's try it together. Let's take it slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2. One more time. Now, if you get that down, if you want to add one more element, you can do a slide from that G flat or F sharp to that G natural. Adds a little funky sound to it. Now, you might not want to do all of that every time, and it is going to change the chords. You're going to go sometimes, first of all, to that B flat chord to here, and then the A flat to here. So use it sparingly, but do throw those in, because that can be a nice little groove. It can be a nice little soulful feel to the song. Well, thanks for watching. I'd love to hear in the comments how these videos have been a help to you. And before you sign off, make sure to check out some of these other videos, including Yes I Will, which we referenced earlier in this video. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.